There comes a moment in the journey of every chosen one when the body begins to cry out, not in sickness, not in weakness, but in divine urgency. And the world will tell you to ignore it, to drink more coffee, to push through the exhaustion, to silence the hunger, to explain the ache with some convenient label. But deep inside, you know something sacred is happening. Because the truth is, your body is no longer just a vessel. It's a messenger. If you've been feeling strange shifts lately, sudden fatigue without reason, hunger that no food can satisfy, sleep that doesn't restore, or even trembling in your limbs for no medical cause, then you are not breaking down. You are being awakened. You see, the chosen ones carry more than just a calling. They carry spiritual weight, and that weight doesn't just live in your heart or your mind, it lives in your body. That's why, especially now, your body needs your attention more than ever before. Not because it's weak, but because it's preparing for something divine. This isn't about health routines. This isn't about fitness. This is about preservation of the sacred temple where your spirit dwells. And if your soul feels this truth rising as you hear these words, if your spirit whispers, "This is me," then I want you to type 111 in the comments right now. That number represents revelation, spiritual alignment, and the moment your body and soul return to agreement. When you comment it, you're not just responding to a video, you're declaring to the universe, "I'm listening now, I'm awakening," and if this is your first time here, don't leave without subscribing. This isn't just a channel. It's a refuge for those who feel the invisible weight of heaven pressing gently on their lives. By subscribing, you join a community that honors the path you walk. A narrow, holy road only the chosen ones understand. So take a deep breath. The discomfort you've been feeling is not dysfunction. It's design. Your body is not betraying you. It's trying to prepare you. And what you're about to hear might explain the aches, the patterns, and the nights you've spent asking, "What is happening to me?" Let's begin. Let's uncover what your body has been trying to tell you all along. It often begins subtly, a sudden tightness in your chest, a strange pull behind your eyes, a heaviness in your limbs when the room is still. To most, these are signs of stress, fatigue, or age. But to the chosen ones, these are not random physical sensations. They are whispers from heaven encoded in the flesh. Because your body doesn't lie. In a world where the soul is constantly overlooked and the spirit is dismissed as intangible, the body has become the last messenger left to speak the truth, and it does so with precision. What you're feeling isn't always physical. It's spiritual activity manifesting in the only language your physical self can understand. That sudden exhaustion you can't explain after talking to someone. It might not be tiredness. It may be your spirit's reaction to an energetic mismatch, your body stepping in to protect your light. That recurring discomfort in certain spaces. It may not be anxiety. It could be divine resistance. A nudge saying, "This place is not aligned with who you are." See, most people sleep through these signs. They brush off their body's warnings, silencing them with distraction or medication. But you, chosen one, you don't have that luxury. You were not created to numb. You were born to feel, and your body has been feeling everything. The body of the chosen is like a spiritual instrument. It resonates, it responds, it resists, it absorbs what others ignore. It reacts to energy shifts in rooms, words unspoken and intentions masked behind smiles. It speaks through pulses, through aches, through sudden bursts of clarity or sudden waves of stillness, and sometimes, when you won't slow down to listen, it will make you. But this is not punishment, it's preparation. When your body begins sending you messages in the form of discomfort, it's often because the spirit is on the edge of transformation. You are being fine-tuned for higher frequencies, and your physical self is trying to keep up, trying to clear space, trying to shed the weight of old habits. old foods, old environments. There is no more space in your body for what doesn't match your mission. This is why diets shift without explanation. Foods you once loved suddenly feel heavy or even toxic. Why your sleep changes. Not because you're broken, but because you're being recalibrated. Your vessel is becoming more sensitive because your mission requires precision. And if you've been frustrated with your body lately, if you've felt betrayed by its strange reactions or its sudden changes, pause for a moment. What if it's not betrayal at all? What if it's your body trying to keep pace with your awakening? You are not falling apart. You are being realigned. So before you reach for the next quick fix, stop and ask, what is my body trying to tell me right now? Because that tightness, that ache, that fatigue might just be heaven knocking saying, pay attention, you're shifting. You're being prepared. You were never meant to ignore the signs. You were meant to decode them. Because when a chosen one's body speaks, it's not just biology, it's prophecy. You go to bed early, you avoid screens, you try meditation, herbal teas, even prayers, and yet you wake up exhausted. As if you spent the entire night running marathons in another realm. Your body feels like it slept, but your soul feels like it went to battle. And that's because it did. For the chosen ones, nighttime is not just a time for rest. It's when the veil between worlds thins. It's when divine instructions are given, spiritual battles are fought, and hidden truths are revealed. While others sleep peacefully, you often lie somewhere in between, body still, but spirit wide awake, operating in realms most people don't even believe exist. This is why sleep for you never feels simple. It's not just about rest, it's about assignment. During the night, your soul may be called to protect someone, intercept dark energy, or receive downloads of wisdom you won't even consciously remember until the exact moment you need them. You may not recall your dreams clearly, but you often wake up with a knowing, a message, a heaviness, a sudden clarity, or sometimes just the weight of what your spirit had to carry. That is not insomnia. That is intercession. And yes, it's tiring. But it is also sacred. When chosen ones sleep, they don't merely dream. They travel. They guard. They listen. They stand in places of spiritual importance. This is why so many wake between 3 and 4 a.m., the watch hours when the unseen world is most active. And even if you return to sleep, something in you knows. Something happened. Something moved. So if you felt frustrated waking up tired, if you've questioned why your nights feel more draining than your days, hear this. You're not broken. You're operating on another level. Your spirit doesn't rest because it is always listening, always alert, always ready, and this too is a sign. A confirmation that you were never called to sleep like the world, because you were never called to live like the world. So the next time you wake up and feel that strange weight in your chest, or that exhaustion no nap can cure, don't curse your body. Bless your spirit, it just returned from battle, it just obeyed the call. And that is the kind of sleep only the chosen understand. Most people dream and forget. For them, dreams are random stories the brain stitches together during rest. Nothing more than fragments of thought, emotion, or memory. But for the chosen ones, dreams are far more than that. They are revelations. They are warnings. They are instructions wrapped in symbols, colors, and visions too precise to ignore. If you've ever woken from sleep with tears on your face, or a name on your tongue, or the feeling that you just witnessed something sacred, or dangerous or otherworldly and you're not imagining it, you're remembering what your spirit experienced while the rest of the world was still. Because the chosen rarely sleep without purpose, and their dreams are never just dreams. In the stillness of the night, the divine speaks. Through images, through voices, through scenes so vivid, they imprint on your soul for days. And while others may dismiss such dreams as just your imagination, You've always known something deeper is happening. Maybe you've dreamt of people you've never met, only to encounter them later. Maybe you've seen events that hadn't happened yet, but eventually did. Or maybe your dreams feel like battles, intense, emotional, sometimes even terrifying. And you wake up not just tired, but changed. This isn't coincidence. It's communication. Dreams are one of the primary languages of the spirit, and the chosen receive messages this way because their physical life is only part of their mission. Much of what they carry is rooted in the unseen. Your dreams may be training grounds where you learn to recognize energy, or testing grounds where your faith is sharpened through trial, or holy encounters where angels visit, ancestors speak, and God himself whispers instructions. And yes, these dreams can be heavy. That's why so many chosen ones wake up exhausted, not because the mattress was uncomfortable, but because their spirit was active, alert, working in the night. It's not rare to feel as if you've been somewhere else while sleeping, because you have. The soul is not limited by the walls of your room or the clock on your nightstand. It moves where it's called. And when you are marked, you're called often. So instead of brushing your dreams aside, begin honoring them. Keep a journal by your bed. Write down every detail you can remember, even if it feels strange or fragmented, because dreams are seeds. And even if their meaning isn't clear now, it may bloom later, at exactly the moment you need it. You were never meant to sleep like everyone else, because you were never meant to dream like everyone else. Your dreams are maps. They are messages. They are evidence that you are deeply connected to realms that most will never see. And that is not a burden. It is a gift. Have you ever laid your head down at night, longing for stillness, only to wake hours later feeling more exhausted than when you first closed your eyes? As if your sleep had been invaded by something unseen. Not nightmares, but movement. Not fear, but intensity. Maybe your legs jerk without warning. Maybe your heart races for no reason. Maybe you've opened your eyes in the middle of the night, gasping for breath, confused by the heaviness in your chest. Or maybe your body lies still, while your spirit screams to move, trapped in that eerie place we call sleep paralysis. Let me say something you may have always felt, but never heard. Out loud, you are not broken. You are not crazy. You are not alone. These are not random symptoms. They are spiritual echoes, the body's trembling response to the sacred work happening within the chosen. You see, when heaven marks a soul, that soul cannot remain untouched by divine energy. And the physical form, this fragile, beautiful vessel we call the body, must evolve to carry the weight of that light. You were never meant to rest like others. Because your mission doesn't sleep. At night, when the world goes silent, the chosen are often most active, not in their actions, but in their essence. Your spirit travels, your energy aligns, your subconscious receives divine instruction. Sometimes you're taught, sometimes you're warned, sometimes you're simply recalibrated, prepared to carry something greater than you carried the day before. And your body, in its wisdom, reacts. It twitches, it jolts, it sweats, it tightens, it trembles. It awakens suddenly at 2:22 or 3:33. Or 4:44, not because of fear, but because the veil is thin and the spirit is attentive. You may have gone to sleep in peace, but your soul entered battle, received revelation, stood in a place not bound by time or flesh. And when you return, your body bears the memory. That's why the chosen often feel fatigue that no amount of sleep can fix, because they're not just sleeping, they're serving. Not with hands and feet, but with frequency and spirit. This is also why chosen ones are more susceptible to what others brush off: electromagnetic sensitivity, lunar phases, crowded environments that drain them, because your vessel is tuned to receive, not to survive in numbness. You absorb, you sense, you feel, and though that can feel like a curse, it is your divine instrumentation. But here's the key. You must learn to honor it, not fight it, not medicate it into silence, not pretend it's not real. Create sacred sleep spaces, clean your energy before bed, speak protection over your rest, treat your body as a temple, because for you it truly is. It houses a spirit that travels dimensions while others dream of mundane things. And when you wake, don't just jump into your day. Ask what your spirit witnessed. What did your body carry while you were unconscious? What warning, what wisdom, what realignment was given to you beneath the veil of sleep? Because every chosen one who listens will begin to notice the pattern. Every physical response has a spiritual origin. And your body, the same one that jolts, shakes, or resists rest, is speaking in a language only the awakened can understand. If you've ever felt this, I want you to write 1 to 11 in the comments right now. This number is the frequency of alignment, mind, body, and spirit, walking together in divine order. By writing it, you're not just responding to me. You're answering your own soul. You're declaring to heaven, I see it. I feel it. I honor it. I am ready. There is a sacred kind of solitude that follows the chosen ones into the night. Not everyone sees it, and fewer still understand it. But you feel it. Not just when you're awake, but most intensely when you try to rest beside another. Maybe you've never been able to sleep deeply next to someone. Maybe you've always needed your own space, your own bed, your own corner of silence. Maybe even in love, even in comfort, something inside you pulls away the moment the world dims and your body seeks rest. And if you've ever judged yourself for this, questioned why you feel restless in company, why intimacy at night feels like a tension rather than a release, you need to hear this now. It is not rejection. It is energetic preservation. You were born with a spiritual field that carries intense frequency. At night, when physical defenses go quiet, that frequency becomes even more sensitive. And when someone else shares your space, especially your bed, their energy enters your field without filter. This isn't always bad, but it is always intense. Because while others may sleep just with their body, you sleep with your soul wide open. You are not just resting, you are healing. You are receiving. You are aligning with something far greater than you. And in that sacred process, any external energy, even that of someone you love, can disrupt what heaven is trying to whisper into your being. Many chosen ones report strange patterns when they share a bed. Sudden anxiety, unexplained heart palpitations, restlessness without reason, or an overwhelming desire to get up and move, not away from the person, but toward a solitude that feels like home. It's because your spirit is wise. It knows when the space is no longer clean, when the channel is no longer clear, when the presence of another, no matter how kind, begins to cloud the transmission you're meant to receive. And this doesn't mean you're doomed to sleep alone forever. But it does mean that until you meet someone whose frequency resonates with yours, your soul will protect itself, even in your most unconscious hours. Chosen ones require stillness, not just physically, but energetically. And few things are more energetically vulnerable than the moment we surrender to sleep. So if your body has ever recoiled when someone climbs into bed beside you, if your dreams change when another enters your space, if you wake up feeling heavier than when you fell asleep, understand this. You are not broken. You are not cold. You are spiritually guarded. Your bed is an altar, and your rest is sacred ground. In time, When you align with someone whose energy doesn't deplete you but enhances your clarity, the solitude will soften. Until then, respect the signals. Choose solitude not out of fear, but out of reverence for the divine work happening in you each night, because the chosen don't just sleep, they prepare. They receive, they listen, even in dreams. They serve. There is a reason why your presence shifts the energy in a room. A reason why people confide in you even when they barely know your name. Why animals draw near. Why babies stare. Why the atmosphere bends subtly in your favor or against you, but never remains indifferent. It is because you carry something, and that something isn't learned, built, or borrowed. It is ancient. It is encoded. It was placed within you before you even took your first breath. You are not just a body navigating through a world of flesh and matter. You are a spiritual vessel transmitting and receiving light. And that light, the frequency of your soul, is constantly being read by the unseen world. But this frequency, it is fragile in its early stages. And though it grows stronger with spiritual maturity, it always remains pure. And purity must be guarded, not casually exposed. This is why the chosen ones, especially in their most sensitive seasons, feel the urge to withdraw from certain environments, avoid certain people, limit their interactions, and fiercely protect their rest. It is not arrogance. It is instinct. It is self-preservation at the soul level. Because your frequency is like a sacred code, a divine language that must not be corrupted. And everything you allow near your body, your thoughts, your dreams, and your energy has the power to affect that frequency. Some people carry noise. Others carry confusion. Some carry despair, envy, lust, or bitterness. And not because they are evil, but because they are unaware. Yet when they enter your field, your soul immediately begins processing their vibration. You've felt this, haven't you? A simple conversation that leaves you strangely drained, a handshake that feels heavier than it should, a shared space, a dinner, a room, a bed that leaves you waking up disoriented, almost like you've been robbed of clarity. Chosen ones are not built to absorb just anything. You are built to channel something divine. And in order to remain a clear channel, you must learn to guard your frequency like a holy flame. That means your body, especially during rest, must not become a dumping ground for emotional toxins. Your mind must not become an echo chamber of other people's chaos. And your bed must never become a battlefield of invisible wars that were never yours to fight. So the next time you feel the urge to pull away, to retreat, to sleep alone, to cancel a meeting, or to stay silent, listen. It's not avoidance, it's alignment. Because when your frequency is clear, the messages come sharper, your dreams return, your peace deepens, and your entire being becomes a magnet for divine instruction. You are not here to live like everyone else. You are here to resonate at a level that reminds the world what heaven sounds like. To be chosen is not just to be gifted, it is to be separated. Not because you are better, but because what was planted in you needs space to grow. And growth, real, deep, spiritual growth, is noisy. It is disruptive. It tears through old versions of you, stretches your spirit beyond comfort, and pulls you away from what once felt safe. This is why your path often feels more like a shedding than a celebration. Why relationships fall away. Why certain doors don't open even when you knock hard. Why loneliness feels like a second skin, tight, familiar, and hard to escape. The truth is, the sacred always comes with a cost. And the cost of being chosen is the weight of living outside the rhythm of the ordinary. You're not meant to walk like everyone else. You're not designed to build your life on the same timelines, desires, or metrics that guide the masses. Because what's being birthed In you isn't a career, a reputation, or a lifestyle. It is a mission, one that requires discipline when others indulge, silence when others shout, sensitivity when others numb, awareness when others sleep. It's why your body doesn't rest easily in every bed, why your mind doesn't quiet in just any room, why your heart resists attaching to people or places not aligned with your divine assignment. You were not called to comfort. You were called to consecration. And consecration comes with fire, the kind that burns away illusion and distraction until nothing remains but clarity and light. It comes with restriction, not to punish you, but to preserve what others don't even know they're losing. Every time you've had to walk alone, every time you've felt the ache of disconnection, every time your soul has begged to just be normal, heaven whispered back, you were never born to be normal. And if your body has felt the fatigue of carrying a frequency the world does not understand, remember this. It is because your very existence is a message. A walking, breathing, radiant message that declares, it is possible to be in the world and not of it. To move through chaos while holding peace. To sleep in storms while hearing the whisper of God. To be touched by human struggle, yet remain anchored in spiritual truth. Yes, it is hard. Yes, it is costly. But chosen one, the reward is eternal. Because nothing, absolutely nothing, can compare to a life lived in full alignment with divine purpose. You were never designed to live disconnected from your body. Not because the body defines you, but because it carries the signals of your soul, the sacred whispers of what heaven is preparing you for. When your sleep is disrupted, when your heart races in certain rooms, when your skin tightens around energies that don't belong, when your bones ache under the weight of invisible assignments. It is not random. It is not just stress. It is not just sensitivity. It is communication. Your body, this sacred vessel you often neglect, criticize, or push past, has been trying to tell you something from the beginning. You were chosen, and your preparation has already begun. You don't need a title to prove it. You don't need a platform, an audience, or a flawless record. You simply need to recognize the signs that have been with you all along. The exhaustion that doesn't make sense. The vivid dreams that stay with you for days. The nights you can't explain but remember with trembling. The urge to separate yourself. The inability to rest fully next to someone not aligned with your calling. All of it points to one truth: your life is not your own. It was chosen, consecrated, refined, marked, not to suffer without meaning, but to awaken and walk with clarity where others wander blind. You are not broken. You are being built. And every restriction, every ache, every spiritual alert your body gives you is not a burden, but a blessing. It is the divine making sure you don't lose your way. It is the spirit ensuring you never fall asleep to your true identity. So honor your body, listen when it speaks, protect what it protects, follow the signals, because your body is the first altar, and it will never lie to you. And if these words have stirred something in you, if you recognize yourself in this message, not just in thought, but in truth, then write the number 111 in the comments now. This number is the symbol of revelation, realignment, and readiness. By writing it, you're not performing a gesture. You are making a declaration. I see. I understand. I'm ready. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do so now. Not because you need more information, but because you found a space where your soul is recognized. This is not the end of your journey. It's the moment you begin walking it awake. The chosen never walk with the crowd. They walk with clarity, and that clarity begins right now.